So there we wanted to show you the Prime Minister of England, Boris Johnson, and his press conference from earlier today talking about this new strain of the coronavirus and why especially it's impacting the UK. We're going to go out now to a live report from Fox 5's Andrew Chien. He's been following this story for the latest updates. You know, Andrew, why is this strand so concerning, and what does it mean for us here in the U.S.?
Yeah. Well, you're Andrew, I'm Arthur, first of all, but the reason why it is linked to New York and the U.S. in concern is because so many people fly between the two countries. New York alone, there are 3 airline carriers that fly directly from the U.K. here into New York City. That's 6 flights a day, which amounts to thousands of passengers that get off and walk out of the airports and into populations and dense areas. That's the main reason for concern. That's the reason why at this hour at least 30 countries have imposed travel restrictions amounting to an outright ban of UK travelers from their countries, and the US is not one of them, despite these concerns over how contagious this new strain may be.
And, you know, Andrew, I was kind of curious as well. You know, we've seen different strands throughout the pandemic. You know, why are we really honing in on this one? Is it because it's around Christmas that we've just gotten the vaccine? Why the you know, the special attention being paid to this one? Is it just because it's spreading very rapidly?
Right, so far it's preliminary, but the modeling from British authorities indicates that it is 70% more contagious than the strain that we typically have been dealing with in this country since late February or early March, depending on when you want to track this. The other data that's coming out from British authorities indicates that 60% of new cases in London at this point are a result of this new strain. So it is already in a lot of places, and the likelihood that somebody gets on a flight, and of course, if you remember, you know, these tests are not foolproof. And so if somebody does get by, comes into this country, then it basically becomes our problem. Now, the good news, if you can call it that, is that so far the studies indicate that it doesn't affect the outcome. It doesn't make people sicker, but certainly more people could get it, and that's the central concern here.
That's something we'll be following here as well. You know, if this new strain is on the minds of people who are thinking about getting the vaccine. From those that you've talked to, is this a primary concern that the vaccine's effects might be blunted by this new strain of coronavirus?
There are a lot of primary concerns in this pandemic, and certainly that's one of them, but it certainly isn't a concern of the people that we talked to in federal government today. The White House is essentially indicating that the CDC has not made a recommendation for travel restrictions, and that is essentially backed up by the nation's top infectious disease expert in Dr. Anthony Fauci, who says this is certainly something to watch right now, but not perhaps something to impose travel restrictions over.
All right, Fox 5's Andrew Chien there outside of JFK in New York City. We appreciate your time, and thanks for coming on News Now from Fox. All right, we will be following that story here on News Now from Fox into the week as these new reports, especially from the UK, emerge about this new strain of the coronavirus. We'll be following the details of that, if you should be concerned, if it will affect the effects of the vaccine, rather. So we'll be following that here on News Now from Fox, and also if it's going to be affecting travel to and from the UK. You saw that banner there. Almost 40 countries have either banned or limited travel to the UK in light of this, and it's kind of not a very good time for this, especially around the holiday season, but also with that vaccine, now that we have them, we're seeing a new strain. So we do want to go take a quick commercial break. We'll see you back here in 2 minutes on News Now from Fox. And we're going to keep it here on coronavirus news, and we're going to go back out to Capitol Hill. We have 2 live shots of the Senate and the House floor right now as lawmakers are still waiting to vote on this relief package. Remember, they reached an agreement late yesterday on Sunday. Once they vote on it, it goes to the president, and we'll have a year-long funding bill, and a round of coronavirus relief. Remember, we haven't had a relief package since the CARES Act back in March. So we're going to take it out now to the Senate floor, and there you can see lawmakers at the moment deliberating. Many of the senators are in the chamber